Here's how I made this photo in just a few hours with no studio and just a little bit of Photoshop magic. Let's check it out. So my buddy Joe hit me up a couple weeks ago with an idea for a photo shoot. And of course, I was immediately like, all right, let's do this. The only problem is I didn't have a photo studio, but I did have a great friend, James, who had just enough space and a big enough blank wall that I knew we could make something happen. So with just a simple 2 light setup, one of them being my Zhiyun X100 and a little softbox, and then an LED panel to light up the wall behind us, we got to work. So here is our reference photo, and we were in love with the backdrop, so we wanted that almost exactly the same, which immediately gave me the idea, why recreate the wheel? So first I started off by taking the reference photo and upscaling it with Topaz, which has been one of my favorite tools when it comes to preserving fidelity and recovering detail in low resolution photos. After I upscaled it, I took it into Photoshop to remove the original model from the background so we would have a fresh backdrop to drop Joe in on. Once I removed the original model from the background, all I had to do was bring Joe into Photoshop to remove him from James's apartment and make it look like he was in a high value, high production photo studio. Thanks to the magic of Photoshop, I did a simple select subject, and it really did all of the work for me. With a blank backdrop and Joe now isolated, it was just a matter of bringing him into a scene and harmonizing everything so it looked like he was actually in a photo studio. First, I started with a little bit of hue and saturation adjustments to turn the original red backdrop into a slightly burnt orange. Then, with the magic of Photoshop's neural filters, I was able to harmonize Joe and balance out the colors to really sell the scene. Then it was just a matter of drawing in some shadows to really make it look like he was interacting with this environment, which took a little bit of work, and admittedly it's not perfect, but I'm willing to bet if I hadn't shown you this video, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell. And that's not to say I'm a Photoshop wizard, but I've had enough experience, and if you look at it from a distance, you would be none the wiser. Lastly, all I needed to do was a little bit of generative fill to expand the canvas and add some depth to the environment. As you can see, there was already some grain that I had added in Lightroom to Joe, so I just needed to match the grain to the background to really sell this whole scene. And there you have it. This is how I create magazine quality photo shoots with no budget, no photo studio, and just a little bit of Photoshop magic.